Notice I said higher education, not just college, because there are multiple options for you. So before we get started, I do want to tell you guys a little bit about myself, and then I always tell my 3 points. So a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and I moved to Atlanta, and I attended Clark Atlanta University. I grew up in a single-parent household with my twin sister, and I made it all the way to Atlanta, and I kind of fumbled a little bit as far as figuring out the whole college situation, but again, I made it through. And then after I graduated from Clark Atlanta University, I moved to Augusta, Georgia, and I attended Augusta State, where I got my master's. In the midst of my master's program, I was teaching for my practicum, and I got inspired, and that's where I wrote my book. My book was my lessons learned about being a first-generation college student, fumbling through college. It is my lessons learned. It is everything that I wish I would have done, and I just share my story with the masses. So that's a little bit about me. As of right now, I'm still writing and doing other things. I'm actually publishing a children's book. It's called Donna Goes to College. It's about my son. But my journey was different, and I'm so excited that it was the way that it was, because now I can share that information with other people. I think it's really hard when you're navigating through college and you don't have a basis, because neither one of my parents had been to college. I couldn't say, Mom, can you help me? Dad, can you help me? I just kind of had to figure it out on my own. And my journey was unique, but not really, because there are still first-generation college students out there. Do you guys have parents who went to college, or any of you guys first-generation college students?
First generation meaning you're the first person to attend college.
If you have a parent who went to college, raise your hand. That's wonderful. Look at God. Okay. If you don't have a parent who went to college, raise your hand. You are me. These are my people. Okay. So that's that. Now, before we start the workshop, and let me tell you a little bit about the workshop. So the college, yes, sir.
You say go to college, you like graduate college?
No, go to. Like, my mother went to high school, my father went to high school. I was the first person in my family to go to college. Hey, a try is a try. It's not a loss. It's a lesson learned. So the workshop that you guys are going to be participating in today is called the College University Workshop. And it's a simulation that I put together to simulate everything that you do when you're getting ready for college. So you guys will experience financial aid, housing, parking, registrar, and admissions all in one. And you'll be forced to kind of figure things out, fill out your application, and sort through different issues in the midst of it. It's a simulation I created because I feel like it's another preparatory tool that you can use to get ready for college. Make sense? So before we get started, I want to share the 3 things that I talk to every single person about. Whether I'm standing in just the parking lot of a mall talking to someone about college, talking to my friends about college, family, or any speaking engagements, I talk about 3 points. You ready to hear them? First thing, be practical. Say be practical.
Be practical.
Now, when you're preparing for college, what do you think I mean when I say be practical? Productive? Yes. But when I say practical, I mean all the elements of college. For instance, I went to Clark Atlanta University. Before I got there, I didn't know that it was a private college. I didn't know how expensive it was. I definitely didn't know that I would have to pay to come to and from California. I didn't consider all the elements. I didn't even know if they had my major. I just went. I wasn't practical in my endeavors. So when you're preparing for college, when you're thinking about your major, you have to express all the practicalities. For instance, again, talking about me. I went into college as a business major. I don't do math, okay? So when I got my transcript, when I got my class schedule, it said calculus with analytical geometry. I had to just change my major. I wasn't practical in my dealings. So I want to encourage you guys to be practical when you're picking your major. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where do you see yourself really going? Again, with the practicality, and I want to drive this point home, is the financial piece. What college are you going to? What is the financial piece? How are you planning to pay for school? Are you going out on a limb and just hoping that Jesus catches it all? You can. But be practical when you're preparing for college, because I am 33 years old and I'm in a ton of debt because I wasn't practical. So when you're preparing for college, I want you to think about your family's finances. Is it best for you to go to a 4-year university? Should you be going to a community college, building up those funds, preparing, applying for scholarships so that you can maybe transfer? Is the military the best route for you? Does your major or career that you want to fulfill even require you to go to college? Could you go to trade school? What are the practical approaches to get you where you need to be? Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to encourage you to be practical when you're preparing for college. Think about all the elements before you just jump right in there. I always encourage people to pick their major before they pick their college, because if they don't have your major at the university, you don't need to be there. And I encourage you to sit with your family and have a conversation. Mom, do I have a college fund? Is there money there for me? Do you have the credit to get loans for me? Are you committed to applying for scholarships so that you can get this money? Billions of dollars goes to waste every single year because people are not applying. The money is there. You can get it. Are you being practical? Yes? Okay. So my next point is be self-motivated. Everybody say be self-motivated.
Be self-motivated.
Okay. So what am I saying when I say be self-motivated? Yes. Okay. At the end of the day, all you have is self. So I kind of am biased. I don't really care for like advisors at school because I feel like they don't take care of me. I had a horrible experience with my advisor, so I just look at everybody shady. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, your teachers, your counselors, and I'm no shade to parents or guardians, ultimately it's up to you. So don't wait on someone to say, hey, you need to be doing the SAT, you need to do the ACT, you got to do your FAFSA, you need to be applying for scholarships. What are you willing to do for you? At the end of the day, it's your life, your career, your future at stake. So be self-motivated. Don't wait on anybody. I had a couple students that I was mentoring, and advisors weren't giving out the waivers for SATs. If you need the resources, go get it yourself. Don't wait on anybody. Be self-motivated. At the end of the day, all you got is you. It's your future, right? The example that I always give is stupid, but it makes sense because it's still relevant. Did everybody see that movie, Matilda?
Yeah.
Okay, Matilda's parents were shady, but she was a gifted child, and she was self-motivated, and I believe that the Lord helps those that help themselves. Think about her teacher. Her teacher saw something in her because she was doing things despite her circumstances. She wasn't a product of her environment. She didn't want to do what her parents were doing. Be self-motivated. All you got is you. Make sense? I'm like hyping. You guys are, yeah. Okay, so my last point that I want to bring up is be ready. Everybody say be ready.
Be ready.
What does that mean? I feel like me and you were just talking. What does that mean? Okay, finish my sentence. Stay ready so you don't have to get... Right, okay, so in many circumstances, I know that you guys are young, but I do feel like it's important to stay ready. Do you realize that you are your brand right now? You are your brand right now. Everything that you're doing is for your future. So when I say be ready, I want you to be ready for opportunities that may come your way. For instance, me right here. What if I was giving out a scholarship? Like at orientation, I remember there was a guy from Ohio when I was at Franklin University. He was like, anybody here from Ohio? And he's giving out money. You know, be ready for whatever opportunities are in front of you. Be ready to network. Be ready to be vulnerable and get what you need to get. You understand what I'm saying? There's so many opportunities in front of you, so I want you to be prepared for that. As people of color, a lot of times, you know, all you have is the exterior. So in a lot of situations, you want to dress the part, you want to speak the part, you want to be the part. You guys are young, but do you guys have resumes? Okay, do you have that brag sheet ready? You got to brag about yourself. You got to sell yourself. You got to be ready to network. You have to be ready for opportunities. So I would encourage you just to be mindful of that. You are your brand right now. Whatever you want to do, you get ready so you don't have to prepare at all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so those are my 3 points, and I want to get into the workshop. I usually do like this long drawn out conclusion, and I always cry, mostly because I'm a new mom and I get emotional about the futures. But I do want to share one thing with you guys. The resources are there, everything is there. You can do whatever you need to do. The one tip of advice I do want to give you is what I did in college. Because I didn't have a basis, I mimicked other people. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know exactly what you want to do, I would encourage you to find someone who does the career that you want to do or that's in the field that you're in. See exactly what they did and mimic those steps until you find your own way. Does that make sense to you? You can do whatever you want to do. The resources are there, but if all else fails, mimic.